yourself to let us know when we're on Facebook? Yes.
Okay.
We're on Facebook. So welcome to our Facebook friends.
Tell them where they are, that this is the Institute.
You're gonna say next?
Okay.
Oh, she's got
She's
it.
good.
Okay.
She's ready. We got it covered.
Hello and welcome everyone here today and on Zoom and on Facebook to the Sunday service for the Institute of Spiritual Development in Oneonta, New York. I am Christene Springle and I have been invited here today to give you the homily to talk about the reawakening of the earth and animals. And before I get into it, I invite you right now to take a deep breath. Take in the air of Mother Earth and think of her creatures, of our own animals, the animals of the world, of the animals that have connected with you in this lifetime. Connect with them as you listen. Ask them to guide you, to teach you, to give you what you need to know in connection with this homily. What exactly you need to take away from it. Animals have captured my heart ever since I can remember. I've been communicating with the animals and sensing and seeing animals and spirits ever since I was a little one. Today, I'm honored to be an animal communicator, amongst other things, but truly honored that I can communicate with the animals. I know some folks find that very strange, but that is what I do. I communicate with the animals, and they communicate with me in all sorts of ways. It is a wondrous thing. It's beautiful and mysterious and quite simple all at the same time. So what does the spring and the reawakening of the earth and animals have to do with animal communication? That is what I'm here to discuss today. I want to invite you to see how the animals and the natural world can help us communicate on a different level, and more so what it means to spiritual seekers like all of us. Like so many others, by the time February hits in this part of the world, I'm truly eager for spring to arrive. Spring to me is all about possibilities, the unknown, and magic. But more importantly, to me, it's about growth, life, and creation. Spring brings the earth and all upon it back to life. It is truly a glorious reawakening from the sleepy darkness of winter. But don't get me wrong, the winter is not exactly a quiet season when it comes to animals, communication, and animal communication. But those stories are for another day when the wheel turns back to winter and colder temperatures. So back to the reawakening, the flowers, the plants, the trees, all the animals, the birds, the mammals, the reptiles, the bugs, and the insects. They are all in full spring with the mission to create life. In the human world, there's a lot of communication that needs to happen in order to create life, right? We must communicate, we have to listen, we have to talk to one another, at least on some level. But I ask you now to think about the natural world and how it communicates. And there's no time like the spring to see that communication in full action within nature. Wherever spring is occurring on the planet, that part of the earth and all her creatures need to communicate. The sun communicates by bringing more warmth and light to the cold earth. That in turn awakens the hibernators like the bears and the groundhogs and the bats. The trees speak with their buds and pollen, as do the flowers, as they communicate with the insects to give them that come hither energy, so the bees and other bugs buzz from one flower to the next as they go about their pollinating. But let's look at the ways in which animals communicate, not animals and humans, but animals with each other. Despite their lack of human language that we can understand, animals possess a sophisticated system of communication that enables them to convey information, emotions, purpose, and their intentions to one another and to other species of animals. I personally think it's even greater than human language, but that's just me. Whether it's the loud bellows of a bull moose, the high vibrations of cicadas, or the stomping of feet by skunks, animal communication is a testament to the beauty and complexity of the natural world. And thinking about spring, it always brings my attention to one particular form of communication, and that's courtship. One bird in particular that I think about are the bowerbirds of Australia and New Guinea and their elaborate courtship behaviors. Now, I know right now in Australia, I think it's just going into winter. It's not spring there, but for some reason, those bowerbirds are very powerful for me. So the male bowerbirds build a bower or an arbor of sticks, and then they put down rocks and pebbles, and then they fill it with all sorts of brightly colored objects, shells, pieces of glass, coins, berries, and such. And they're usually of the same color, some like blues, some like red, some like oranges, and other colors. As the male bowerbird spends hours and hours, he's fixing it up and making it just right. And if the object of his attention likes the bower, she willingly enters it, and on the other side, she is greeted by the male, where he will then do a little dance and they'll make a little love. And I said before, communication is needed to bring about growth, life, and creation. The bowerbirds communicate with their lady friends in various ways, using lots of different senses. For example, visually with their bowers and their fancy dancing, through their innate knowing of how to be a bowerbird, and through hearing with their complex vocalization. As spiritual seekers, we learn much from the ways in which animals communicate. One key teaching we can learn is the importance of listening. Animals are masters of listening, both to each other and their environment. They are acutely attuned to the slightest changes in their surroundings, and they respond to these changes with great sensitivity and awareness. My goal in my work as a spiritual teacher is to help others tap into their intuition or their psychic gifts. Wild animals do not question their intuition. They are who they are, and they trust what they know. They trust their gut. They also trust those in their community as long as they are also in tune with themselves and their tribe, their clan, their pack. And what do I mean by tapping into our intuition or gifts? Well, it's tapping into the other senses that are outside the normal hearing and seeing and touching and such. Intuition encompasses our clair senses. Clair means clear, light, or bright. It is the clear hearing, that clear knowing, that clear seeing, and so on. And there are many ways to go about opening our clairs. For me, it starts in nature, by tuning into the animals, the trees, the plants, the stars, the weather, our natural world. All these can teach us so much about our other senses. And this is just another form of communication. And for animal communication, one that does not just focus on what the animals like, what they eat, or what they are trying to tell us. It's about what they can teach us, that innate ability to be who we are truly meant to be. Tapping into ourselves, tapping into the divine, tapping into things that are greater than what is on the surface, because we are tuning in and attuning ourselves to our surroundings, and we are listening on another level. And to bring domestic animals in for a moment, how many times have we witnessed our dogs, our cats, our parrots, our horses sensing things before we can? Or intuitively knowing who they can trust and not trust, or that they can see and sense spirit well before we can sometimes. I've had many instances of my own cats and dogs and sensing spirits before I did. They have guided me and at times also warned and protected me to the things that I was unable to see, hear, and know. They know instinctively when we need affection, a hug, or a bump in the butt when we do not listen to ourselves or others or them. They feel and see and sense on a different level because they live and exist on that level in such an easier way than us. As spiritual seekers, we too can benefit from cultivating this kind of attentive listening. By tuning into the sensitive energies and vibrations around us, we can deepen our connection to the world, the animals, to the divine, to spirit, and to spirits. We can learn to be more present, more attuned, and more responsive to the needs of ourselves and others, and that includes our animal neighbors. Animal communication reminds us of the interconnectedness of all things. Just as animals rely on each other for survival and well-being and creation, we too are part of that vast and intricate web of life. By honoring this interconnectedness and seeking to live in harmony with the natural world, we can cultivate a sense of peace, purpose, fulfillment in our lives and others. So let us take inspiration from the ways in which animals communicate, and let us strive to embody the qualities of attentive listening, tapping into our intuition, and the interconnectedness in our own lives. My intention here today was to invite you to walk through that bower and come willingly to the other side, into a world of natural wonders and animals and connection. Sorry.
It's good.
May we always remember that we are part of a great and beautiful tapestry of life, and may we seek to live in harmony with all that surrounds us. Spring comes each year as a clear reminder that everything is connected, everything continues. We're all connected. In order to create and bring things to life, we must stay connected to the natural world, ourselves, and the divine. So mote it be, and thank you.
We're going to say goodbye to Facebook now. If you want to join us, you can find the link, and come on, we'll be doing some messaging at the end of the service. So thank you for joining us.